viewers, Happy New Year. I know I've been absent for a very long time because it has been a holiday and my students have been out. And at the moment I'm in India. We just finished with our meeting. And for the first time I met Father Joseph Okwara, and I could not miss this opportunity for him to talk with you, to appear in my channel and let you hear his own life experience. And I think this would be a life-changing experience for each and every one of you who is going to view this video. Um, I just want him to introduce himself, and then other things will follow from that. So welcome, Father Joseph Okwara. Yeah, just tell us a bit about yourself, where you come from, and what you are doing here in India, and then other things will follow from that.
Okay, thank you very much, Father Tony. It's a pleasure for me to be part of this, can I say, channel, and to share my life experience. A lot has transpired, it has happened in my life for the last couple of years, actually. Not so many years, but the last 2-3 years that my whole life was turned upside down. At the beginning, Father mentioned my name. I'm Father Joseph Okwara, Mill Hill Missionary from Uganda, but currently working in our formation program here in India. After my ordination in 2019, as a young priest, of course, I had so many ambitions to be involved in mission, to be in a parish setup somewhere in the village, and to witness to the goodness of God among people of different culture, people of different background and tribe, we can say. But all that changed when I developed an ailment, a sickness. My heart expanded. And with that, a lot has changed from 2021 till now. But still, I thank God that I've been able to still be alive anyway, in a way. Maybe God is still revealing himself in many ways to me through my life experience. And really, it has not been easy, it has been tough, but I must say that God has been part of this story, and a reason for which I'm more grateful to be alive even up to now.
Now, when you say that your life changed, what exactly happens? Because I'm sure many people who are viewing now want to know what really happened.
Yeah.
And just tell us about the gadget on your head and the whole thing about that.
Yeah. Now, what happened is that I had a medical condition, and I was a very active young man, actually. Soon after my ordination, I was a very good footballer in my early years, and even after my ordination, I used to play football, a very sport-loving fellow. And then I ended up having an attack of the heart, which was very surprising since I was already living an active life. My heart expanded, and it is something which, for most people, we couldn't actually explain at the local level at that time when I was in Uganda. The reason as to why it did happen, but later on it was explained that I had high cholesterol, and my arteries had kind of clogged. So as I was playing football that day, this happened in the field, football field actually. So I was playing with the parish youth Easter Monday of 2021 after the busy Easter schedule. So on Monday I was like, let me relax with the youth. After our evening mass, we went to play, and as I was playing, I'd taken quite a while, from October till April, without playing. So as I was engaging in the sport, in football, whenever I could sprint, I could feel some pain across my chest, but I thought it was just a normal burning cessation of somebody who hadn't played for a while. So for that matter, as the heart was striving to pump blood and oxygen to supply oxygen to the body, and since the artery was clogged, there was a backflow. So that backflow expanded my heart, and my heart became weak. So my whole life changed. Of course, I had all the signs of being sick. My appetite dropped. I had body weaknesses, shortness in breath. I couldn't do many activities on my own. I could puke out all the time. And with all this, my health went down drastically. And for a long time, when I was in Uganda, I had these struggles. So I had a near-death experience actually at one point, because they were supposed to do uh, some tests to find out the real condition of my heart at that time. But my heartbeat was irregular. Sometimes it goes so fast, sometimes it comes down. And for that matter, they gave me some medication to take to reduce the activity of the heart. When my friends and family got to know about that, it was really difficult for them to take it in. Because when I was coming down from Karamoja, I drove myself actually. I kind of took some confidence I thought I was strong. But when the doctors told me what was happening in my life, it humbled me surely. They said I had a severe heart failure because both ventricles were now affected. The right chamber was had gone down, but the left chamber was completely weak. So their recommendation was that I either have a heart transplant or I get this device. Now, the heart transplant takes a long process.
Maybe you speak up loud now,
Oh,
so
yeah,
that people
yeah.
want to hear that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I was, maybe it's the weight of what is coming now that, that lowered the tone a bit. Yeah, but now the prescription was that I either have a heart transplant or I get this device. Now, a heart transplant takes a long procedure because you have to, first of all, register with the government and also get a matching donor. And that is not easy. It takes really a long time. And my condition was deteriorating every other time. So I came in November, and first of all, they had to do their pre-surgery tests and kind of monitoring. So I was admitted in the first 2 weeks in the hospital for the monitoring, and they found out that my condition was really severe because the left ventricle was completely shattered and the right ventricle was going down at a terrific rate. So they needed to do something urgently. Yeah, so for that matter, they recommended that I go for this left ventricle assist device because they didn't know what time I may get a suitable donor to have a transplant, and the registration process could have taken also a long time. And then here there was an opening, there was a cutting here because of the cable. So actually what happened is that there's a device, the device is inserted in my heart. And then there's a cable like this underneath my skin coming from the heart up to the head here. Now here there's a plate, a metallic plate that is attached and screwed to the skull. And then that cable which comes from the heart is connected to here and then comes out. Now this is what comes out. So since this is what comes out, it is a power line actually. That's a power line. And also it regulates, it takes in from the message from the controller. So this is powered by the batteries. So I have 2 batteries on my side, and this is how the battery looks like. So this is one of the batteries. I have 6 of them spares, so I keep charging. them. And this one is actually almost finished. So when I press here, I find out how much bars are left. And this one I'm left with only 1, so I'll have to change maybe shortly after this. And then I have to keep this 24/7 when I'm sleeping, when I'm showering, whatever I'm doing. So it kind of changed my life in that regard, that I cannot, for outdoor activities and contact sports, I cannot do much. But at least I can walk around. I can have good appetite. I can also do other activities. I can do laundry. I can maybe clean my room. Yeah, so I can do a number of things. I can study as well.
What would happen if this battery now goes down and it's not charged?
Now,
Because I'm scared now. You're saying it's just 1 bar left.
yeah.
What would happen if it goes like?
Now, if it goes, it will start alarming actually. Maybe it will alarm. Let me first try to move.
No, don't do don't do that.
No, I have this one, but if it's also finished, then it will alarm. Oh, it's not alarming. So this one is still okay. So this is how I charge it. After removing like this, I put it to charge. The charging pin is also like this.
Okay.
And it has a special charger. Yeah, so for that matter, I'll change. I'll get the one which is fully charged, then I connect it back like that. Yeah. So, but if I don't have power completely, it start alarming to make noise, like that, and then if there's no power completely after 15 minutes, I think I'll be I'll be saying my last prayers actually. So I have to have power almost. In fact, not almost, always.
No, Joseph, this is a very one. I don't know what to say, but God knows why it happens to you. But what is the secret behind your smile? Because despite everything, you're still the happiest person, even more than those of us who are still very okay, but we have a lot of dark clouds around us. You don't seem to have that.
Yeah. And then the thing is, first of all, I'm really grateful to God for what has happened, in the sense that despite the difficulties I've gone through, and in the hospital, I must say, I despaired at some point, especially when the reality of this dawned to me. And to me, that was really the moment in which I realized the power of God. So all this reality dawned on me. And I was now questioning God, surely. I thought I'm your servant. I thought I've been good. What crime really have I committed that merits this kind of punishment? For me, I felt it was like a punishment, or for my wrongdoing or something like that. It was really painful for me to take it. So I was like, now, couldn't you do it in any other way? I mean, I know you want to communicate to me through this experience, but I mean, what merits this kind of torture? It was really too much. So at some point I despaired, and actually in the hospital I broke down. And I was crying loudly actually in that bed. Then the nurse got concerned and she was like, "Oh, Joseph is crying." And so she went and called the doctors. So they all came around. Then one of the ladies from the international department, she's a Christian. She was like, "Father, why are you crying? You should be preaching the word of God." You should be preaching to others. You don't know what I'm going through. Then the other nurses were trying to console me. Oh, please keep quiet. Oh, thanks be to God. One doctor, the main doctor, when he came, he just said, "You leave him." So I cried until I felt I was looking like a fool also. Well, I cried. Why am I crying then? Anyway, I wiped my tears. I kept quiet and I was there in bed. But you see, the interesting part of this story was the light side of it was earlier on I talked to the nurses because they were concerned I was alone. Like, they were like, "You came alone to India for treatment. This is a very heavy medication." and treatment without any family member. And this is something which is very unique for me about my calling as a priest, in the sense that, yes, I belong to my family, but wherever I go, yeah, I'm not alone actually. People take good care of me.
Exactly.
And yeah, and for me, I would say that comes back to the fact that God really takes care of His own. And each and every one of us belongs to God. We are of God actually. He created us out of His love, and we are His. He knows each and every one of us by name, yeah, and He will always take care of us. So there was a very big worry about me being here alone. So to an extent, they were like, oh, for his mental health, please you talk to him. They are telling the nurses, please you talk to him, and maybe some of the things that the caretaker, the blunders that caretakers sometimes make when looking after somebody in the hospital, is to think that when somebody is lying there, he's always unconscious, or when he's sleeping, he's not here. Most of the time, we may be sleeping as a patient, as somebody in deep pain, but sometimes we'll just be there lying helpless, but we can listen, we can get things.
Everything.
Yeah. But later on, in my deep dialogue with God, it reached a point in which I accepted the fact that I could lose my life because it was beyond me. And I think when we come to that realization that our life is not about us, it is to fulfill God's purpose, is when I surrendered myself in the hands of God. And I was like, God, you know why you created me. I didn't even ask for this life. The reason for which you brought me to this experience also, I don't know. Because it was just in a flick that everything changed. Yeah, I was normal, I was even playing football to show that I was really in a very normal state. Then just in a flick, everything changed. So you know the reason as to why. So for me, rather than questioning, rather than growing in despair, I got more hope in the sense that I put my life in the hands of God. So God is in control, not me. So in my powerlessness, in my pain, in my struggle, God takes control of my situation. So I don't need to worry about anything. And somebody says, why do you worry about things? If you can do something, do it. If you cannot do it, then there's no need of worrying. Even if you worry, you're not going to change the situation. So for me, instead, I developed greater hope. And that has given me a relatively peaceful stay with my condition. And what has helped me to adapt is meditation, taking personal time in prayer and meditation. That really helps me to be grounded in my experiences and find out that probably this is the most important thing for me to do. These are the things that I cannot do, these are the things that I can do, this is how I can do, this is how I cannot do things. And that gives me really a refreshed and rejuvenated hope about life. And it's a pity that some people easily lose that hope.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. That just to interrupt you there, because you said at some point that at times you were asking God why. Many people are asking the same question, and I'm sure many of them will be watching this at some point. And you have been through a lot more than many people, really. Some people just want to take away their lives because maybe the Wi-Fi is switched off, or because the water is not hot enough, or because the Father has anointed them, or because of some little things, really. And people would really invest on that, and they go through depression. We know many young people are going through that at the moment. So, and you ask God that question at some point. Okay? But it will be good for you. I mean, what will you want to tell people like that who are watching you? Because I believe this is a new ministry for you, whether you like it or not, that your life itself is a witness what will be your message for people who are going through difficult moments of asking God why?
For me, I think whether we like it or not, difficulties or challenges in life will come. That is a reality. But our response to this is what matters. How do I respond to this? And they say there's a modern attitude, they say, of adaptability. You have to learn, relearn, and rethink things. You have to be very adaptable in your approach to reality. Pain, suffering, disappointment, betrayal, frustrations, can I say misunderstanding, family misunderstanding with friends, and all these things, failure in business, failure in academics, failure as a parent, all these things are bound to happen in life actually. It may happen at different stages in our life, it may happen when we least expect it to happen. And for me, how prepared are we for such difficult moments when they come? And I think sometimes we take things for granted actually. That, oh, this, once it has not happened to us, it's fine. But what really I would say about this is that no matter how difficult life is, just don't lose hope. Just cling. Cling there and just hold on. Every storm will pass. There's no storm that has lasted for forever in the sea or wherever. There's no wind or typhoon that has blown and blown and blown for 1 year, for 2 years or whatever. It blows and then it gives you some time frame to recover. So in our very life also, whatever the challenge, we just need to have that hope. We should not lose that hope that God cares about us, that God loves. We may not even feel it at all. Like from my own experience, when I was there lying in bed and questioning God, surely, why would you let this happen to me? Of course I was frustrated, of course I was in pain, in a very difficult time. And the God that I believe in, the God that I am even, I've dedicated my life to minister to and to serve, is a powerful God. I know he can do this. He can heal me if he wants to. Throughout scripture we read how he's telling people, stand up from that mat and walk. I mean, if you're blind, he's opening your eyes. So, but why are you not doing this to me? But for me, I felt the biggest communication that God was giving me is that trust in me. It is not about me actually. This project is not about me. And when we take matters into our own hands, that's when our frustrations increase. That is when we feel we have the power. In our powerlessness, we feel we have the power to take our own lives. We have the right, this is my right to take my own life. No, it's not. Because that life, you do not even apply for it. You do not do anything to get it. It is a gift. So there's no need of you frustrating yourself by taking matters, serious and deep matters about life to yourself. There's a master about this life. So we just trust what the master is telling us. So we have to develop the communication with this God. Of course, he's all powerful. In my pain and misery, he's still powerful. In my frustration and in my failure, in my misunderstanding and mistrust, he is still powerful. He's still faithful. So with all these things, I would say that we need to just surrender ourselves to God and trust that God has a plan for what is happening. But it needs a careful discernment. We need to take a lot of time in prayer and meditation to come to this reality. Otherwise, we have the world we are living in, as you say, the moment, the high tendencies towards suicide. And there are many ways people can do that. But it's just because we lack this quality time in meditation. We lack the quality time in trying to understand ourselves, trying to understand the ways of God, which is more important. Our human ways are different from the ways of God. God is always communicating to us. But of course, right now we have so much, which is a blessing for our generation. We have so much information circulating. So it's a blessing for us that we can easily relate, we can easily connect, but we have to get proper ways of getting the proper information and proper communication and connection. The internet has a lot for us, like even this talk that we are having now, it will be out to other people through internet. People who may not have a chance of meeting me. I may never have a chance of meeting them. And there are many good things out there. But how much more do we have of junk really circulating also on internet? So people may have a different lifestyle and you're locked up in your own small world, in your room, but very connected in the virtual world. So in your small room, you are dealing with a lot of frustration. You're dealing maybe with addiction. You're dealing with the issues of pornography. You're dealing with the frustration, maybe betrayal from your family members, from your friends, failure in business. Maybe you've been sacked from your job. So you may have so many difficulties, but having it within a small confined place. And that is where people end up saying, this life is meaningless, so I just better take it. But the thing is, despite all these things, you better create some time, whether you're religious or not, whether you're somebody who believes in God or not, just to create time in meditation. You try to find meaning in your experience. But for us who are, who are journeying towards God, like any human being else does, we really need to find that foundation in the person of Jesus Christ, because He gives us that example. He has revealed God to us, and in that way we have that opportunity of relating with God at a personal level, even in our loneliness, in our closed small places. So for me, I would say this generation needs at least that time, just a short span of time in a day, to create time for meditation.
Father Joseph, that was amazing. So just for some information, Father Joseph is working here in India from one of our formation houses in a seminary. So he's looking after young boys who are aspiring to become priests. He has been through a lot, and he can still afford to smile. And the secret is that we have to surrender everything to God. You are not in charge. God is in charge. Thank you very much, Father Joseph, for everything it's not easy to share this story, and to share it smiling is really a miracle for me, And to know that you have to charge everything in order to survive. And we have a lot of complaints in life, but you are giving us a lot of examples, and you are giving us, telling us a lot about life. Again, Father Joseph said, value every second in your life. Every opportunity that you have in life is a gift. Okay? Whatever thing, every moment in your life, please savor it and make good use of it, because you never know the time that God is going to require you. He wants you to give back your life to Him. So thank you again, and thank you to our brothers who are trying to make this possible for us, the guys behind the cameras. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much, Father Joseph. And I exhort you, all of you who are watching, to keep Father Joseph in your prayers. We believe that he's going to live a normal life. Everything is going to work out well for you, and that you keep smiling. Thank you very much, and God bless.